everyone. So, yeah, here's Rachel too. So what we want to share for you, if you're not here right now, we just went over a little bit about the tribe that I learned how to lead medicine journeys from. It's called the Yawanawa tribe in Brazil, and it's the women have been empowered there to serve medicine, and these are the women who gave me permission to and trained me after around 2 month plant diet in the Amazon jungle in Brazil. So what does that involve? That involves being alone in a little hut and primarily having plants and food that is very, it doesn't taste like much, just very little spices. And meditating with these plants, and then when you do that, when you make that sacrifice, the plants give you knowledge and wisdom and information and support. And so yes, what is this? And eventually, you come to drink the medicine on your own and go through that initiation before serving others. So what is ayahuasca? Does anybody know? What is this thing that we're drinking? Yeah.
And I went to Peru and participated in some journeys, since I learned that it was 2 plants.
Yeah.
Cooked for
Yeah.
a long time and mixed together.
Yeah. So it's a vine and a leaf. So it's also like symbolizes love, union between, harmony between things. And when it's cooked down, and it takes a long time to make it, to pound and pound and pound for days and days and days. So when we receive the medicine, we just like, oh my God, there was so much work that went into that, and so much love, and so much, they're praying the whole time, drinking medicine, so making it. But what it basically does is it expands we all have DMT in our brains, and all of nature has DMT in it as well. But when we drink the medicine, our awareness of our DMT, it actually grows. So you might experience yourself in a bigger way. And usually when we experience a bigger sense of self, the response is maybe, the breath starts to shorten, or you feel more maybe anxious. But with our tools of yoga and our breath work, we help to create a space where we have the tools to navigate the intensity of the experience, to slow down the breath. And the main tool in the ceremony is the breath and awareness of the body. It can always bring you back to where you need to be. So when you have that big expansiveness, oftentimes you have a higher understanding of like who you are, what your soul purpose is. And also what happens is we purge. So we're clearing. How do we purge? We can purge through our mouth by throwing up, or the other way around, or both at the same time. That's called gold star, and if that happens, then you're amazing, yeah. Or sometimes shivers, sometimes heat, sometimes laughing, sometimes tears are purging. So this is a purging ceremony, and as Westerners, we often feel like, to throw up in front of other people, like that is, but it's not. It's a whole different experience in the medicine. It's not like throwing up. We call it getting well. So we'll never force that experience. It will just happen naturally. And with that process, one feels the release. It's like 40 years of therapy. I'm sure you've experienced it in Peru in like one night. So, and you will get the medicine. It's a feminine spirit. They call her Pachamama. And she will give us messages and guide us. So we usually do 2 nights, because primarily the first night is like a cleaning of our bodies. With aid from the Kambo will help us to purify ourselves. We'll also be doing a dieta, which is a little diet before the ceremony, around 1 week, and we'll give you all the guidelines for that. And then the second night is usually when we go deeper into our experience and listen to this amazing plant. And once we drink, you know, that medicine's inside of us forever. So it's really a blessing and a gift, because the medicine and the information of the medicine, the wisdom of the medicine will continue before the ceremony. She'll start talking to us, and after the ceremony too. One of my teachers says the ceremony begins when the ceremony ends. So oftentimes we'll face, you know, we'll get the messages, and then she'll be like, okay, now show me how you're gonna live this. She'll put us out into the world, and oftentimes we'll come across tests or initiations, and that's all part of our ceremony and our journey. So the beautiful thing about this specific retreat is that it's done within a community that is here. Like, we will meet again and again, and we'll be able to integrate the experience with our yoga practice. Why is that yoga practice so important? It is loves the medicine. It will bring, help you to integrate the work in a way that's embodied, and the community will, you know, it's like once you sit in ceremony with people, that's your family for life, because you understand them so deeply in such a way. Just like when you're practicing yoga with somebody for a while, you know, it's like that level of understanding. And with that, does anybody have questions, or you have anything you want to say about it?
I could give the itinerary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna be at Camp Double Dare, which is a really special place that we've been leading retreats to since 2015. We've been there, and they're actually closing at the end of this year. For a good reason. They're returning the land to a land trust, which is sworn to protect it forever and never allow development. But that means they won't be renting it out anymore. So we really wanted to take this opportunity to go back and do the medicine there. So people will arrive sometime Friday, kind of like Friday afternoon. The first night we're just going to, we won't do medicine, we'll just do yoga, probably a sound bath, a light meal, a opening ceremony, a welcome ceremony. Everyone will figure out kind of like where they're going to sleep and everything. We'll go to bed early and rest, because getting there is down a kind of scary road. So we want everyone to just settle in and be comfortable. And then in the morning we'll continue. There's a hot tub there. You can hike. It's just really magical land. And then we'll have a meal and have more yoga, and then we'll start our ceremony probably around sunset, right? On Saturday. And then that will go for about 5 hours.
We'll get you to bed at a decent time.
Everyone will get some good sleep.
Yeah.
And then in the morning we wake up and do an integration circle about the experience of the night before. And then you basically have the day free to, again, like do yoga, go in the hot tub, hike, journal, sleep, eat. We'll be preparing all the food in accordance with the diet, the dieta. So anything that we offer will be healthy to eat while you're on this journey. And then the second night, as Malka said, again, we'll go deep. We'll do about 5 hours. And then we have music throughout both of the ceremonies continuously. So,
2 amazing musicians joining me. So it's a
Drumming
musical
and-
journey. The music is all, you know, the medicine and the music go hand in hand. So that's the experience.
Yeah. And then, what was I going to say about that?
There's also optional combo. So Jetta will come, you know, if you feel called to. We were originally going to make it like all together, we do it, but we want you to feel like you have a choice. Like if you feel called to do the combo as well, it's good to detoxify. And that's also a medicine that calls you, so you might feel it like more and more while you're in the ceremony, like the frog. I can't explain it, but the frog has called me before.
And we also added the option of like doing the combo ceremony here before you go on that journey, so that you have them a little bit different, right, times. Yeah, and then integration, hang out, clean up, be in community on Monday. We're not in any rush to get off the property, so again, you can nap, you can rest, and then head out kind of like Monday afternoon, which is Labor Day, so no work for most people. So, yeah.
Do you guys have any questions now?
Do you know about like what size of group you're hoping to have?
What are you feeling, number-wise?
I'm, for some reason, the number, come on in.
Come on in.
Hi.
small.
We're all cozy in here.
I'm Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
Also Rachel.
Yes, I
remember?
haven't met you before.
I'm Rachel too. No, just kidding. I'm feeling into it. How many people are going to come is your question. I don't feel like it's going to be a big group. The max I feel is 15, which is a great size. But you know, oftentimes people ask like, "Oh my gosh, is the group going to be big? Is that going to overwhelm me?" And it never is, because your experience is so internal, and the perfect people always end up coming, and the perfect number. So that has a wisdom of its own.
We probably wouldn't take more than 15 just because of the size of the yurt. So
Yeah.
it's a structure called a yurt that we will do the ceremonies in. It's circular, and there's pillows and, you know, all kinds of cool stuff to hang out, you know, bolsters and pillows, and
It's cozy.
it's very cozy.
Yeah.
There's also like running water and a nice restroom. So we call it glamping because there's like amenities. It's not just like being out in the woods.
And there'll be options, you know, throughout the night. You know, we encourage everybody to stay within the group, because that's where the medicine is. But you can always go outside at whenever for a moment and look at the stars and commune with the earth. And you know, there the stars are beautiful and magical. So
There's redwoods there and there.
yeah.
So you said combo, if you feel called to do
Yeah.
that, you can do that if you want
Most definitely, and it's recommended
to.
because.
It is recommended, okay.
Well, the reason why it's recommended is because then you're good. You get everything out before the ceremony, so you're not worried about the physical purging part when you're sitting with the medicine,
Okay.
and then the medicine can give you more information, because the first thing it does is it just goes and purges wherever. The medicine is really powerful. A lot of, you know, people in the indigenous villages just use the medicine for physical healing purposes. So, and because it also goes into your body and shows you like where it is out of balance, and it goes in there and it works its way. It's like a little, like, you know, you'll feel it when you drink it. Oh, that place, okay, I need there, and brings awareness to the places inside. But it's also really, you know, amazing. Same with the combo, anti-cancer, antioxidant, is a health boost. So most people leave the ceremony not only spiritually cleansed, but looking gorgeous, because you just have this like spiritual, there's like a light that you will come out with.
Glow.
You will glow.
How about the food? You said, so the week before, have a specific
Yeah.
plant-based diet.
Yeah,
So
and I
yes,
can
it's
go
recommended.
over a little bit of that. We're gonna write it down, but so it's basically like no spices, no salt, no sugar, no caffeine, no alcohol, and this is because you're preparing your stomach to drink a purgative. So you don't want it to be like irritated
Yeah.
or like, you know, a lot of green juices, boiled vegetables are really good, brown rice. Also, what's good is potatoes, cassava. The medicine loves like those root vegetables. So we'll give you no fermented foods. That's hard on the stomach. No chocolate either, which is hard because we all chocolate. But it's only for a week before, so we can do it. And then also no sex. Why no sex? Because sex, spiritually, you're merging with somebody before, and you don't want to be in your ceremony and invest in it, and then spend all your money working out somebody else's spiritual stuff. You know, like this is your ceremony. And if you do bring like couples, we ask them to sit away from each other because of the energy between each other. You can get like all intermixed. So we take care of you spiritually like that. And then another thing about the dieta is we refrain from too many like screens, unless you really have to work with your computer, like we understand, but like that's also something we recommend pre-ceremony to really go internal, writing in your journal, going into nature is great, walking, and really meditating on what is your intention, because the ceremony begins as soon as we make our intention, and bam, we can feel them, you know, it's gonna start as soon as we decide to go and feel the medicine calling us. The medicine is calling each and every one of you, otherwise you wouldn't be here. So that's the kind of mechanics of the medicine is she brings you. There's a reason why we're all here right now. It's pretty magical, you'll find. Yeah. And the other cool thing about ceremonies, speaking of like people and spiritual energies, is as a group we'll become one in the ceremony. So sometimes somebody will be purging and you'll feel a release in yourself. And we'll feel how everything that we're processing is connected, and that's another cool thing of like feeling the connection to each other in that way. Yeah. I know I went off tangent about the edge of it. Any other questions? Hi. Hi, Rachel.
I'm so sorry, I do have a question, but I hope that it wasn't already asked, because I don't want you to have to repeat.
No, it's okay.
I just wanted to kind of get an idea of like your experience with these kind of ceremonies.
Yeah.
And like where you've done them, how like
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff, like
Yeah.
how long you've been doing it for, all that sort of thing.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I just talked about, I'll just give you a brief.
Awesome. Thank you.
Because that is also important information. I just drank it the first time. No, I'm just kidding. Around 15 years ago, I've been working with this medicine for 15 years. And 10 years ago, spent 2 months getting initiated and doing my plant diet in the jungle. And I've traveled all over the world leading ceremonies for many years. So I have a lot of experience in drinking numerous times. Yeah, so I've done this for quite a while.
Tell her how it was the women in the tribe.
Okay, yeah. So the tribe that I was called to is called the Awanawa tribe in Brazil, in the Amazon. It's like a 6-hour boat ride to get there. And the story of that is, all the tribes were colonized, but the leader of this tribe was the one who kicked out all the colonizers and said, "Get out of here." We burned up the Bibles, and the colonizers said, "You'll never make it without us." And then, people came from near and far to gain access to the magical plants, and their lives were saved. So they ended up like funding from all over the world, and they have like this festival every year. It's called the Awanawa Festival. People come to celebrate their life and also work with the sacred medicines. And one of the understandings of the chief is that it's time for the women to reclaim their seat as medicine holders. So now there are around 4 women in the tribe who have done this, gone on that path, and one of them has given me that permission to, after 2 months, she said, "Okay, you can go." And so I wouldn't do this without that permission. I never thought this would be my path. It just kind of ended up happening, and guidance from place to place. But I'm super grateful and humbled and honored, and it's not us doing the work, we're just the vessels that allow it to. The medicine has taught me so much about humility and really not feeling like you know what you're doing. Like there's a level of
Ego death.
I can hold this space, but in a way where I can surrender to you, to the medicine, to help me to hold this space. And so it's such a big lesson. You just learn over and over again. But yeah, I don't used to lead a lot all the time, and I've slowed down, become an older yoga teacher, and now I'm really into my path with an African tradition. So I've been guided to there, but now I'm coming back more and more, being asked to, and feeling that now is a time when people are getting called more and more. I feel like the medicine is coming back for some reason.
We need it more.
For a good reason, of course.
Society needs it more.
So I'm happy to be of service.
And is that where you get the medicine from the place in Brazil that you
The medicine that we're going to drink is actually from Peru, from another place I dieted for a while and was studying with another grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And it's made in this, the waters there are like hot spring waters, and so we get the water for the medicine from the hot spring, like the magical, and there's all these minerals and things in the water and healing properties. So it's really blessed, and it's really, really special because of the water. Yeah.
It will be the same for like both nights?
Yes.
Okay. And you've had it before, so it sounds like?
Yeah. I always